welcome back to the man to my right, the executive producer of Religion is Sports, right here on Audience. Season 3 premiered a few Wednesdays ago, and it airs every single Wednesday night at 8 Eastern Time. His Shut Up and Dribble with LeBron James on Showtime premiered early last month, and the man whose Religion is Sports media company, co-founder with Tom Brady and Michael Strahan, is here. Gotham Chopra, good to see you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
So what is it like to work with all these big-time athletes, man? I mean, what?
I'm lucky. I mean, look, it's sort of a dream come true. My wife always jokes, is like, wait, so are we getting paid? Are you getting paid? Or are you paying to do this? Because I got to ride to the AFC Championship last year with Tom Brady. And yeah, so, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's they set a high bar, for sure. But I have an amazing team that, works on all these shows.
Now, again, was that part of Tom versus Time at the time where you were shooting Brady flying to the AFC Championship game, right? Or?
It was driving. It was when it was the AFC against the Jags.
Right.
He had cut his hand. Nobody quite knew the severity of it.
That's right, home game.
But yeah, I mean, it was me with a camera. That's what it came down to at the end. Mm-hmm. We started with documentary crews and boom mics. It gradually became, as the season went on and he really, focused on football, he just was like, he calls me G. He's like, G, if you want to come and ride, great, but I'm not doing that crew thing. So
what do you mean? So you were not with a camera at the time?
No, I was literally shooting it myself.
That was the only way that he would allow you to shoot anything, is if it was you, not the crew thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you first meet him?
I've known Tom for, he used to have a home out here during the off season 5 or 6 years ago. And that's probably when I first met him and had to act semi-professional, because I was a huge Patriots fan. I've been a huge Patriots fan my whole life growing up. And so when I met him, he had a home in Brentwood and just started getting to know him. And that's kind of when Religion of Sports conceptually started. Mm-hmm. So he was in on the ground floor, so to speak.
And we'll get into that in a second. Your success with Tom versus Time and Facebook Watch, is there any possibility that you continue to do that a little bit more with Tom at all?
No, I think, trying to spin it off into subsequent seasons turns it into a reality show. I think part of what made it cool was the scarcity of it.
Right.
And he had never done it before, and I don't know if he'll ever do anything like that again.
But don't you think that what's still to come is potentially the most fascinating part of the story? Would you not agree with that as a storyteller?
I think so. Yeah, I am. And, look, Tom's now, he's on social media. He's sort of documenting a lot of this in real time himself. And I'm still, I was with Tom on Sunday, just, more as a friend. But I think, he's just so, that was a unique moment in time. It felt like turning 40 and everything. And I don't know that he wants to do it again.
And did you text him that I want him to call in right now?
I think Josh McDaniels has other plans for him right now.
Is that right? So
he's in practice.
He's in practice.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Patriots practicing in the middle of an afternoon for a week prior to going to Miami? Chris?
Big game.
They're doing their job.
Big game, doing the job.
All right, but there's still a Dumb and Dumber chance your phone rings in the middle of this conversation, right?
That could happen.
Okay, very good. Your success with Facebook Watch, is that what led you to LeBron, or vice versa, or what?
No, I mean, I've known LeBron, mostly Maverick Carter, actually, I've known for years.
Yes.
And this project has sort of been 2 years in the making, and then they call these things unscripted for a reason. It changed over time as the sort of world around us changed.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, what started out as was going to be equal parts basketball and sort of pop culture and all this stuff and politics, the politics piece, the social piece.
So Laura Ingraham changed everything when she told him to shut up and dribble?
It was kind of trending in that direction. She gave us a great title. I'm very grateful to her. But it's Colin Kaepernick in some ways that changed it, right? Like, it's just part of what we talk about in every aspect of our lives right now is politics.
Right.
And LeBron, it certainly wasn't just because of this project. He's been out there outspoken about issues, opening a school in Akron and stuff like that. So it just felt like that was the right thing to focus on.
So, I mean, you heard what Durant had to say, right? What do you think of when you hear that as somebody who obviously is a business partner of LeBron James? You know him, you see him, that he calls the environment around him because of the media that has come to him or wants to cover him, and that it's all about him, even though it's not his fault, he's saying.
But they called it
toxic.
I don't know about toxic. I don't think he's not wrong in terms of like LeBron is a special personality, and he's been doing this in some ways since he was 14 years old. He's so good at it, just in terms of like interacting with the media. And I think he's magnetic in that way. I've also noticed like just working with all these guys, they're so alpha, not just on the court, but off the court. So I can see how a guy like KD, who's every bit the player right now that, LeBron is today.
Yes.
Like, does he need to share the room, so to speak? I think he and Steph have a very, special relationship because they're such different types of personalities in a way. And Steph is a very sort of a unique personality. But I could see that. I mean, he's alpha himself.
So do you think that LeBron is going to have trouble attracting people? I know that this is not your area of expertise, but you're around him. You're around him and Maverick.
I think LeBron, first of all, you don't need arguably the best player in the league in KD to sort of make you a championship team. LeBron's pretty good himself, but I think there are other players that will be attracted. I mean, it's LA, it's LeBron. LeBron makes players better. I don't know. I mean, you're talking to a guy who, by the way, hates the Lakers. I mean, I like LeBron, but I'm a Celtics fan.
Is LeBron aware of this?
Yeah. This is how me and Kobe got along so well, because actually Kobe is so combative that he loved the fact that, he was collaborating with a Celtics fan.
Yes.
Because we could fight all day and debate all day about it.
Right.
But yeah.
So are you going to do something with Kyrie? I mean, what a way to act out your fandom.
I kind of feel like I need to do something actually with like Derek Jeter. Like I also sort of, I worked with Victor Cruz a couple of years ago. I'm a Patriots fan, and that was not easy, but like, so it's behind enemy lines where I think I
Gotham
do my best.
Chopra here on the Rich Eisen Show. How do you choose the subject matter for religion of sports? I mean, we just saw, radio audience, we just saw in a TV-only segment the clip of a motorcyclist, essentially, zipping down some
crazy
road course on the Isle of Man. How do you know about this stuff? How do you choose your subject matter?
Fortunately now we're in our third season, so we've established a bit of a brand, and with our partners here at AT&T, and so we have people approaching us. We have a great research team that has built almost like a catalog, depending on the season and where we are. But we're really looking at these sort of obscure, the whole idea is why sports matter in these communities, in these nooks and crannies of the planet. And, something like this, which if you're a sports fan, you may have heard about.
Yes.
And it just sort of timed out for us. And then you're finding these things are all character driven. So you really have to find the people also that make these stories come alive. So we've been lucky, but we now have filmmakers, we have producers, editors, et cetera, reaching out to us saying, have you heard about this thing, in this obscure part of the planet where this wild thing happens?
What would you want to do? I mean, give me a spot, something you haven't covered yet, that's something you think would be fascinating or something.
We haven't done. Here. I'm interested in cricket. I worked on a cricket project many years ago on ESPN, but in a way I want to do it all over again. You have these rivalries between like India and Pakistan. I mean, this isn't just like...
We're talking geopolitical, folks.
I mean, it takes Red Sox, Yankees, or Michigan, Ohio State to a whole nuclear level, like literally.
Yeah.
So I think there's like those types of things. I think there's a bottomless well of like soccer stories around the planet, and I think some of those are really interesting. So,
well, I mean, are you concerned that stuff like that doesn't translate to an American audience? Because you're talking about cricket, you're talking about soccer.
I mean, we've always been like, I'm a hardcore sports fan, but we've always been about like, these are stories that go beyond just sports fan. And it's really about people and characters and like, why do these things matter so much?
Right.
So I think the sport sometimes is the backdrop, but it's really, I mean, motorcycle racing, most of us don't care about that. But it's like these people who are willing to put their lives on the line.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that gets you in.
All right. Gotham Chopra, executive producer again of AT&T's Religion and Sports. You could watch it on Audience Network, channel 239, every single Wednesday at 8 Eastern Time. And Shut Up and Dribble with LeBron James on Showtime. It premiered November 3rd. What's coming up in the next version of that? What do you have for me on the future of that show here?
On Religion and Sports?
No, on Shut Up and Dribble.
Well, Shut Up and Dribble is a limited series that was 3 parts on Showtime.
So that's it.
You can get Showtime anytime. It's
No,
on
I'm
their
just
app
saying.
now.
It's a three. You're not going to do more shutting up or dribbling, or
I mean, look, we live in some interesting times. There's probably, I'd love to do more. I think, and LeBron certainly has a lot more to say. Plus, what's cool about LeBron is he's enabled a generation of you. So you have guys like Jaylen Brown. You have Draymond Green, who are now they come into the league like this is what they're supposed to be outspoken, and you have a commissioner in Adam Silver who's very supportive of that.
Right. Well, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on here. Tell Tom when he does text you back that on behalf of slow Michigan men everywhere, thank you.
He's moving like a Zephyr wind now.
I know. It's pretty. By the way, moving like a Zephyr wind is not a bad fantasy football name. And you got Brady taking a knee, taking a victory formation, and pointing at the spot of the football as your avatar, I think. That'd be a good one. At Gotham Chopra on Twitter. Again, Religion is Sports Season 3, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
You got it absolutely anytime.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.